everybody, I'm Allie with PotomacBeads. Join me in creating these trendy bracelets that I wanted to do as a Better Beader episode for summer, showing you some suggestions for these Tila stretch bracelets. Go ahead and grab up some Tilas, half Tilas, quarter Tilas, and then I suggest the Potomac's metals in the bar as well as the tile and also even the 2-hole disc to create fun, stackable, stretchy bracelets. So you may have seen these projects trending right now in the fashion world, and it's a lot of stretchy bracelets using Tila beads. I wanted to go over with you basically how to start this project, make up a couple, and show you where I suggest and how I suggest to tie the knots. I'm using 0.7 millimeter stretchy string for these bracelets because they are going to fit through the Tilas. Not only do I have Tilas here, but I also have my half Tilas as well as my quarter Tilas. My secret weapon in making these and tying the knot are going to be my Potomac's metal, which are going to be the size of a tile or the size of a brick bead when you're talking check glass. You can also incorporate those into these bracelets. We're going to utilize the larger holes in these beads to tie our knot and to glue inside of them. What we're going to do is I have 2 pieces here of stretchy string. If you want to, you can cut 1 piece and then we'll cut it apart as we work on it. But you want to basically start this bracelet in whatever color pattern you want to. You can have a bead stopper on here. And the first thing I'm going to put on, because I know I'm going to tie one of the strands through, is one of my Potomac's metal beads. So to get started, I'll just take these 2 pieces of my stretch string, and this will also establish it really, really nicely as far as a start. Put that stretchy string through those Potomac's metals. This one that I'm using is the tile in gold. Gives a nice metallic look to it. And then I'm just going to start beading. Now eventually, once I get my length on, we're going to shift one of these pieces of our stretch string to about halfway and tie the knot next to our next metal bead. I find that tying the beads through the knot, or tying the beads on with the bigger one, is definitely easier, and we want to separate those so that they're not both tied in the same section if possible. I'm going to take this and string all of these on through my stretchy string, just in whatever random color pattern I pick up. And then once I have a couple of these on through the first hole, I'm going to go down and put them through the second hole and get them strung. You can pick up a half Tila then if you want to. You can use the quarter Tilas. You can even incorporate a nice tile bead along with it. So check out those check tiles. The Tila beads are going to be the Miyuki brand Tila. They do have a front and a back, but honestly for this project I would not worry about it at all. You can see I'm just concentrating on 1 piece currently, and then I'm going to flip over. I'm picking up a rose gold tile or bar next. So I'm just picking up at random a pretty collection of colors. I'm going to continue to string on here, and then I'll work my second strand in through the beads. That way I'm not having to do it at the same time as I'm working with it. Once you have that first strand through, you're going to pick up your second strand now, put a bead stopper on that other end, or you can keep it off so you can separate it a little bit. Just make sure to put that bead stopper down towards the end, and you're literally just going to pick these up, that second strand, and once again feed it through your lineup here. Sometimes you can get it when they're lined up next to one another that you can feed this stretchy string through really, really easily. Other times you'll need to take it out through the bead, pull it out through completely, and then line up the beads. I find that it's the easiest if I try to line them up pretty nicely and then string through them all at one time. That's going to be a little bit quicker to get that nice second strand through the second hole of the Tila beads. So go ahead then and you get your second strand through. It looks like a nice group of, they remind me of Legos or building blocks and very, very beachy. So I can see why they're trending this summer in particular. I'm going to continue feeding my stretchy string through, and then we're going to talk about glue and we're going to talk about our knot placement. So once you have these fun and colorful bracelets completed, it's time to talk glue. You can use some super new glue, you can use some Loctite. It's really not going to matter a ton, and some people may not even glue. The reason that I glue my stretchy string is because it's stretchy, and sometimes it will stretch open. Now, what I'm going to do is bring my strands back, and the first one I'm going to tie to the first side of my larger hold bead here. The second one I'm going to tie to the opposite side. So we're going to go like this and feed one through one way, one through the opposite way. What this is going to do is get the knots on opposite sides of my tile bead there. I'm going to simply put my bead stopper on one side, and I'm going to concentrate on tying the other side. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that your bracelet is sitting correctly and it looks like that nice kind of watch band look. I'm going to tie a square knot right over left, switching hands to do left over right. Do a nice tight pull. One more knot. And then we're going to leave that sit there. What we're going to do next is tie the other side, and then we'll feed the knots inside the project. So take off your bead stopper, grab that end here, tie those up, knot here, switching it. Again, I switch hands when I'm doing a square knot because I have trouble remembering what's top and what's bottom. So from here then, I'm going to open my bracelet a tiny bit by bending the Tila back, take my stretchy string, put it back into that tile bead, and feed it back through. Once I get this one fed back through, and sometimes you need to stretch it a little bit to do so, like that, letting that opening hang open. Once I get that back through there, then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'll feed it through just enough that I can pull it through. We'll dab the glue on, and then we yank the knot so that way it disappears within the interior of the bead. So I just put the tiniest bit of glue on that knot here. I got the strand back through, and I'm going to give a nice tight pull, pulling that knot in towards the interior of the piece, so that way you get this nice kind of seamless line in the stretchy bracelet. This works for not only these Tila stackable bracelets, but also for any bracelet that you're doing with stretchy string. One strand, same way. Try to make that knot small and force it and pull it back into a bead with a larger hole. It's always nice to use one on the piece. That way you can conceal that knot so you don't see it as you're wearing the piece. I'm gonna go ahead and make a couple more of these to stack on. Thanks so much for joining me on this Better Beader episode. Remember, there's lots of different things that you can use to do this style. I just preferred and used the Tilas, quarter Tilas and half Tilas that are trending. I really think the Potomac's metal beads really step it up a notch and give you some variety and some nice metallic look to the bracelets. They also give you a nice way to tie the knot next to and kind of conceal it inside. Remember, if you haven't yet, go ahead and give a little thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss anything from us here at PotomacBeads. As well as comment below and let others know that are viewing this Better Beader episode what tips or tricks or techniques you've used in creating your own stackable stretch bracelets, whether or not they're the Tila version, or you can even list what materials you are going to use. If you want to get any of these materials, as well as those Potomac's metal beads, go ahead and look in the description of the video, and we'll have links there for you to shop online. As always, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Hopefully this episode helped to give you a little bit of information, give you some ideas of things that are trending, and make you a better beader.